Hello and good evening everyone. Welcome to Race Club UK's first ever PlayStation 5 event. This is the American Series Round 1. We are here at Watkins, Glen as we just start qualifying. We have a couple of cars heading out onto track there. Let's pick these up as they come out there. First out we have Kiwi in the number 5 BMW, the green and silver livery car there. And just behind them it looks like the number 10 THG Waterskin. All out there just getting us on underway. Randy Flange Pants comes out now as well, and number 6 BMW. All the cars just beginning to filter out now. So we're at Watkins Glen for round 1. The way this is going to work out is we're going to have 3 races, 3 20-minute races, all sprints, no mandatory pit stops, and each race is going to have its own qualifying session. However, as an added twist, the top 6 in race 2 will not qualify for race 3, and they will start from the back of the grid, which should cause some exciting racing as they fight their way through around this fantastic track. So what we're going to do now, just as everyone's popping out of the pit lane now, the number 1 car, the Yorkshire Micker, still sitting there in the pit lane, biding their time. As we're now watching the number 5 BMW make their way around, winding up to start their lap at this BMW only series. Let's come on board. We start our lap now with Rusty. Sorry, let's get somebody out there starting their lap. Here we go, on board with Kiwi, the number 5 BMW, as they come round the S's, this fantastic section. It's a little bit like riding the roller coaster. Over the crest there, we now have a gentle right leading on to the back straight. Into the bus stop, slam on the brakes, don't take too much of the curb or you'll have your time taken off you. Big bumps over those curbs there, but you need to be careful on the exit. Just gently coax the car through this section. And as we come down into the sweeping section, you want to take as late an apex as possible around there. Fantastic line they've got there, at least so far. Tight, right, again a nice late apex, careful on the exit. That little tuft of grass at the end there can really ruin your lap time. As you come over this crest, go into a sharp braking zone. In this one you want to take an early apex, but just gently feather the car out to the outside there. Bring it back to the right for the very tightening corner, third to last. Great line there as they came through. It's a good build up lap. Around the second to last corner now. No, I don't think we're going to get these cars through there flat out. I do not think they have the downforce. And to the last corner, need to be very careful with the barrier on the exit here. They've got a bit more space to spare there on the left hand side. Let's see what lap time they get there. 2:03. I don't think that's going to put them in pole position. Who else have we got coming around now? Checking Paxo comes through. And that lap is not counted. Tucks in the number 7 BMW, 8 tenths down. A lot of the cars now filtering over the line here. A lot of the cars close together. That's Groot. Mr. Johnny Waffle just getting out of the way of the cars in front there. So 201.5 currently. Rusty in the blue BMW, the number 9 car. The best time so far. The next driver to cross the line is, I think, going to be Balding Wingnut. Next driver to set a time with former champion Banana Man 3000 in behind them as well. Let's see what time can Balding Wingnut do. Only P9. DB Kung goes P1. 2 minutes 1.3. Fantastic time for them, really. Let's try and get the camera fixed there. There we go, now we can see a lot better there. So all the cars do seem to be around the same area, and that's going to be hindering all the qualifying times. Don't have long left. This is going to be the last chance for most of these cars. Kiwi might get an extra lap in. I think they're going to cross the line, but the 95 car of Chicken Pack, so this may be their last chance. Yellow flags are out. I think it's a glitch for a car in the pit lane. And Kiwi does improve. It's 1 second off the pace there. Chicken Paxel comes around the final corner. They're going to get another chance to set a lap as well. This is going to be 2 laps for them. And they go up into P3. Great lap. The number 7 comes through Tux. Number 24 to come round next. Chris V-Dub moves up into P6. 3 cars crossing the line out at the same time. It's unlikely they're going to improve, running in such a close proximity to each other. Rusty comes through and puts them now in P3. Number 9 car does not improve. DB Kung still in pole position for race 1. Vincenti now about to come through and set their lap. And Vincenti goes into P11. Car number 1, the Yorkshire Micker, comes through into P10. I think that's most of the cars. Oh, they stopped on the racing line. What are they doing? I think Chicken Paxo is the lead car there just now. They do have another chance, as does Tux. In behind them. So let's watch Chicken Paxo make their way around here as they come round the bottom of the boot. Into the downhill tricky braking section there. Did they keep it on? I don't know if that's... Yes, they're still being allowed to keep their time. Chicken Paxo, there's a little bit squeamish on exit there. Round the second to last corner, this sweeping back left, using all the track, and they put the brakes on, coming into the final corner, right up onto the curb. Still some space there on the left hand side. They could have maybe maximised that, but let's see what they do. Can they improve? Yes, 1/10 short, the top 3 between 1/10. And that's qualifying done for race 1. That's we've got in first place. DB Kung, 201.3. Rusty just in behind them. Chicken Paxo heads up row 2 with Rusty in P4. Banana Man in P5 with Kiwi alongside them. The first one out there for qualifying. Chris V-Dub, P7. Danardi, Tux, Groot, Yorkshire Micker, Vincenti, Balding Wingnut, Waterskin, Johnny Waffle. Vantage has joined. It looks like joined this race a little bit late there. Mr. Pants and Mars did not get a qualifying time in. So that is the grid for race 1. It's quite a warm day here. at Watkins. I think they'll have no issue at all getting the tyres up to temperature. It's worth pointing out as well that it is a sprint race. There is no mandatory stops here tonight, so you know they're going to go straight through. There's no strategy to think of. They'll all be racing hard, bumper to bumper, and as we can see, that the top, top 10 under 2 seconds a lap with each other. And this track, there is overtaking chances. Almost all of these corners can have multiple lines into them. So let's have a quick look, see if we can try and familiarise ourselves with some of these cars and who's currently on track just now. The number 10 car. Who is the number 10 car? Waterskin still going round there. So we're expecting a close fight there between the top three, only a tenth of a second between them. Now let's get ourselves here in a fantastic view to watch this action at the start as we come round this fantastic track. 3 minutes there before the start, so we've got some time to burn just as the drivers finalise their, the tyre pressures, their setups, just to get themselves in the right position for this race. I must say there's a lot of fantastic liveries here tonight as we prepare to go racing around this fantastic. Honestly, I can't get over how good this track is. It's one of the best tracks they have out there. The home of the historical home of Grand Prix racing in America. Oh, Vortex Racing forgot they're supposed to be on. That's not great. However, they do have time. If you join in the next 2 seconds, 2 minutes rather, you will be in a position where you can still join this race. You may have to start from the back of the grid, but you will be able to race. Failing that, you can join for race 2 and 3. And you will be able to qualify for those races as well. Unfortunately, however, points are awarded for all 3 races, not the best 2 out of 3. Denardi there in the orange, number 20 car, orange and yellow. B-Dub Johnny Waffle. There's Ben there saying good luck to everyone. Great sportsmanship there, you like to see that amongst everyone. Yeah, so good luck to all these drivers. I do honestly hope that you are all able to can finish each race. Even if something goes wrong for yourself, do try and finish. Even if you have to jump into the pit lane, repair the damage, get back out there, because you never really know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen ahead. You don't know who's going to get themselves a drive-through penalty, a stop-go for track limits. Honestly, guys, please just keep racing. Stick it through to the end. You never know what is going to happen up ahead, so always keep trying. Vortex Racing there, making it into the lobby. Fantastic stuff, great to hear. Another driver on the grid. We're now on up to 20 drivers. That's fantastic to see. Denardi there with Let's Get It, Denardi GT team. I like that. Rusty with the good luck to everyone there as well. Don't worry guys, this is just the replay section. I'm just trying to make sure we get the camera correct for the start of the race. There we go, we'll go with the helicam. I think that's what we all want to see.
Seconds.
10 seconds to go guys, make sure you've hit drive. Need to make sure you're on the grid. Now we're 21 cars in the lobby, that's great to see, and then we get underway. DB Kung drives us off on the formation lap. DB Kung just warming the tyres up there. They're Rusty in behind in the blue livery BMW, the 15 car. Everyone just weaving side to side. I don't think they'll need to do too much of that. It is a very warm day here at Watkins at the Glen. Everyone just be a bit careful on the formation lap. Yes, you do run through each other, however the walls are still real. You can still hit the walls and pick up damage, so please be careful. They come on board now, the number 16 car of Mr. Pants. Rusty there as well. Can't seem to get back to the camera view I had before. I'll quickly try and quit and come back into the stream just to make sure that we can get the best camera possible for you guys. And we're back, hopefully I've not missed too much there. There we go. Nah, it's not gonna let us do it, that's very frustrating. But here we are, we're back, we're ready for the race start. Let's get us up to the start of the grid there. Can't seem to find P1. Where's the leader? DB Kung is meant to be in P1. Coming down just towards the end of the formation lap. Oh, easy there, Kiwi. Keep the rear end under control. Now the cars begin to take up position. DB Kung now stacking the grid up. And now we can just feel the nerves of all the drivers slowly building as they get ready for the first race in this American Series round, Watkins Glen. Everyone is now prepared, they've done all the practice. Qualifying things have been set. The cars are now stacking up, everyone in position. Need to keep their speed under the 43 miles per hour. Make sure they do not get that penalty. Hold the line, wait for the green flag as we just wait patiently, excruciatingly for the green flag. And we have the green flag and we're off. And we've got 3 cars abreast into turn 1. DB Kung has not had the greatest start. And the green and yellow car just touched there on the braking. And car 95 down the inside takes P1. Fantastic stuff. Rusty on the outside, it's a very dangerous part of this track. The S's need to be very careful. They don't run wide in the second part there. And that's DB Kung up into P1. Rusty pulling up in the slipstream. We've got... The order is just changing there. I've lost track of the order unfortunately as they all come through. Chicken Paxo appears to have the lead. And we've got a yellow flag all the way at the back there. It's car number 10. Watkins had an accident. Oh no. That doesn't look great for them. Chicken Paxo in the 95 car out in P1 leads them through. DB Kung in P2 on their tail. Rusty not far behind. And these cars are all within a tenth of each other. It's very close. Danardi pulls up to the back of V-Dub. Rusty P8 tucks. And Waterskin looks like they've maybe thrown in the towel for this race. Must have been a pretty big accident. Hopefully we'll get a clip of that later on. And it looks like contact there from Yorkshire Micker as well. That's a lot of damage on that number 1 car. De Silva just in behind them. Potential move happening here? Nope. Marge and the gold and blue BMW. Vincenti in behind them. And again, a lot of damage on Mr. Waffles' car there as well. To come back up into the lead, force a 10th gap. Here from DB Kung. And there's a lot of action going on here. V-Dub on the prowl. The number 24 car defending from the order is definitely a little bit messed up here. Balding Wingnut with the fastest lap so far on lap 2. Groot now in the 140. Slowly closing the gap. They'll get a great run out here up the essays, up the roller coaster. Onto the back straight. A potential braking move into the bus stop chicane. As they slowly closing the gap now, moves over to the inside, thinks twice about it. Pulls off for another lap into the bus stop. So it looks like we have 2 retirements so far. It looks like we've got there number 24, Chris V-Dub, in the pits, and Waterskin as well. This looks like the closest battle on track just now. Groot putting the pressure on the number 2 livery Balding Wingnut as they come round to the boot. And Groot just taking a wider line. That's going to give him a great drive here. And number 2 needs to be careful they don't turn in. And that's a completed move there by Groot in the 140 car up the inside of the switch, doing a switchback. Fantastic. As they look up front now, it looks as if Chicken Paxo just being reeled in slowly by DB Kung, and Rusty putting the pressure on now as well. Tux in the number 7 was only a 10th behind. It appears to have fallen behind a little bit further there, or maybe they've made the move by the looks of things. Bit of overtaking here where the leaderboard just takes its time to go through the sectors and update itself. Looks like these cars are a little bit draggy, and that is making the slipstream a very good effect as Danardi almost touches the back. It feels like they're pushing him up the hill here. Tries to squeeze up the inside of the first part of the essay alongside. This could get very tasty. Need to watch those marbles on the outside. Danardi is a very experienced driver, knows what they're doing up there. And thanks twice off that one as well. And these 3 at the front do look to be a little bit faster than everyone else in the field today. And that looks like DB Kung thinking about a move up the inside. Can they make it stick? The number 9 livery car, the BMW, the number 9 up the inside there as they come round the first part of the boot. And Rusty's now thinking of making the move back, and they touch, the 2 leaders touch. Oh no! That's DB Kung in the wall. That has allowed Rusty through into P1 to take the lead. And we've got another close into that. Looks like Banana Man has taken over P3 from DB Kung as well. That's not went well for them. Don't think there's any fault of theirs. It looks like Waterskin has a drive-through penalty. That's potentially speeding in the pit lane. Randy Flange pats, and they've got a battle up ahead here. Marge and Rusty. Very close to each other around this section again. This section provides some fantastic offering. Oh, they've touched the wall! Oh no! The number 21 car in the wall. Hopefully that's not too much damage for them. They continue to drive a little bit. It looks like they're going in the pits. That looks like a bit too much damage for them. I think they're going to make their way into the pit lane here as the number 4 car, Vincenti, gets very interested in Mr. Pants. They're very close to each other. Vincenti almost touches them on the marbles. They'll need to be very careful under braking into turn 1 as they hit the brakes, and that's allowing Marge back into the battle. And no, Vincenti runs wide. The number 8, it's up the inside of the S's. And it looks like that move stuck, and they're going to get a little bit of slipstream help from the car there in front. That's great driving. Well, they're still making the move. That slipstream looks very powerful as they think about it down the inside here. And they've held off. They've thought twice about that one as well. Now let's catch up a little bit further up the pack here. We have Groot in the 140, putting pressure on Kiwi in the number 5, the green and black with the livery there. At this point it does look like Groot is the faster car. And they've done it again. The 5's understeered just a little bit wide there, and that's allowed the BMW alongside them. They're getting very close. They'll need to be careful into this braking zone. It's a sharp one. And the 5 car, I think, is going to try and hold on, but I think Groot just has the pace just to edge away. Brilliant driving there from the two of them. Let's see what other battles do we have on track just now. The number 7 of Tux under pressure from Dan Hardy. Hardy just closing, reeling them in like a lasso. They've got a car in the pit lane there. Denardi down the inside, makes the move stick. Number 7 just runs it a little bit wide, just to make sure there's no contact. That's a completed move by Denardi as they move up into P6. Now as they watch DB Kong making their way back through the field, they've gotten themselves back in front of Chicken Pack, so potentially an orchestrated move for the stewards. However, they are now back in front of where they were before the contact, just round about this section here. It looks like we've maybe had a move there at the back from Balding Wing, and that as they close up. Let's catch back up with DB Kong there as they're still under pressure from Chicken Pack. So we've got a big battle going on back here. The number 1 car, Yorkshire Micker, Rusty, and that looks like the number 12 car of Rusty just up the inside, around the outside rather, of the number 10 car, Waterskin, just being lapped. So that explains why they were all in close proximity, but these two look very close again. DB Kong, Chicken Pack, so almost pushing each other along the track as we've just passed halfway. 10 minutes left in this race, in race 1 tonight, and we've seen some fantastic racing already, and we've got this another 2 times over. Looks like Chicken Paxos had a great run out the exit there on the slipstream. There may be some downforce, some drag damage for DB Kong as they get very close into the braking zone. Who can get the best exit up the hill here? It looks as if they both ran a little bit wide there. Both of them will be compromised into the S's. This is a thrilling battle. I can't wait to see what happens with this one. It looks like Chicken Paxo has used that slipstream to their advantage as they come into the braking zone. Are they going to make a move? No, they've thought twice with it. They've pulled out. Changed their minds with that one. Yorkshire Micker still being put under a little bit of pressure, just kept honest by Rusty. A lot of damage on that car, they're doing a fantastic job keeping that one going. We still only have the 2 retirements. And fair play to number 21, still continuing, that's what we love to see. Again, you will never know what's happening there. As these two get very close as they come round the boot again into this very tight right-hander that opens up an exit up the hill. It looks like number 12 is going to have a good line there. Rusty with a good exit, but I don't think it's enough to close in that gap. Let's look up ahead to these two. Up to Kiwi and Da Silva, who now only separated by 0.2 of a second. The 55 Thrustmaster car round the second to last there. And it looks like Banana Man's just put in the fastest lap of the race. And we've got the car number 95 car into the pit lane. Chicken Paxos came into the pits. What's happened there? Oh no, they were doing so well. They were up, battling for the lead, but they've had to drop into the pits. It looks like they've had a bit of damage on the front, potentially ran wide. Maybe hearing about that one later on as well. As they pit to try and keep themselves in the race. That's a bit of a cut corner there by Banana Man. Banana Man now thinking, I can catch Rusty, I have them, I can catch them, as we roll into the final stages of race 1. This one's potentially brewing to be a fantastic ending, as they only have 0.6 between them. Chicken Packs are still in the pits. They do have a bit of a gap though, down to P14. Mr. Pan's still going through the bus stop. Marge comes through there. Vincent, yeah, that's... they're going to fall to the back of the grid, I think, with that one. The Silver, Kiwi, the Vortex, Yorkshire Micker, Rusty. Under pressure, both these cars carrying a fair whack of damage as the number 12 takes the racing line. Yorkshire Micker takes the defensive line. Number 12 breaks a little bit later. These two side by side, but giving each other a healthy respect, racing room. It's great driving by those two drivers as they are very close on track, very close on paper. Both carrying out roughly the same times. This one is going down to the wire up front, and it looks like Rusty has just pulled out a bit of a gap now, beginning to stretch the legs at the front. A little bit of breathing room for them there as we're watching the Vortex creep up on the number 5 car. It pulls on the inside of the S's, and Kiwi will need to be careful on the second part that they do not run into that wall. They both get through well there. Got some tight racing here as well between these three, pushing themselves all the way through this race. Through the bus stop they go, and a little bit out of shape there for Mr. Waffle at the back. No harm done, all still with it line astern. So we come round into the boot section. Again, these two I think may have been involved in the wars earlier on. You've got Groot now with Da Silva just in behind them as well for P6. The pressure being put on just a little bit there off the hurry up for Groot as De Silva reels them in into the final sections of this lap. Only 6/10 behind there. There is the opportunity where this might become quite close. I'm going to have to go back in a second and catch up with Yorkshire Micker and Rusty. Let's see if there's a move potentially down here into turn 1. I think that one's safe. So they've missed the apex. That could allow a move into the bus stop, but we're going to have to come back into turn 1 and let's see what's going on here. We've got Mr. Waffle attacking the Yorkshire Micker as they go for the switch back, the old switcheroo. And they go side by side now into the S's. This could get tight. Are they both going to allow each other the racing room? And Rusty must be washing their hands, thinking, this is my battle, I can get this, I can make it, taking advantage of these two losing time fighting each other. It looks like Mr. Waffle has made the move stick. As they come through the bus stop there, Yorkshire Micker runs a little bit wide over the curb. That'll put them out of shape as they come round the outer loop, as they come into the boot section. Rusty is hungry. Rusty wants this P11. All this close fighting all the way back just for P11. It really is a testament to Race Club UK, sponsored by Lovely Stickers, in this fantastic American Race Series event. It looks like Groot there got De Silva a little bit out of shape. That's going to take the pressure off there. Fantastic corner speed there from De Silva.
Leaders on final lap.
Leader now onto the final lap. 1 second gap from Banana Man 3000. Two cars pushed each other all the way around this track. DB Kung and Chicken Paxo, involved in the wars early on, cleared the way for these two. We'll never know what would have happened with that close four-way battle at the front, but in this situation, Rusty has just driven away with it. I'm going to have to come back to watch Groot and De Silva as they're the closest they've been in the past 5 laps. Number 55 car all over the back as they come through the S's. They're going to have the slipstream coming down the back straight into the bus stop chicane, and they're on the marbles. Groot takes the defensive line, goes back to the racing line. Is De Silva thinking about it as they go? No, they pull out. They've thought better of it, and that's allowed Groot to run wide, and they keep control of the car, but that's allowed De Silva through into P6. And Groot will need to be careful they do not lose another position to the Vortex in the 13 car just behind them into the boot section. The tyres will be dirty, they'll need to take extra care, but they will need to keep the pace as well as they come through. This is the last lap of race 1. I don't think that move's going to be done, but Rusty and Banana Man are now so close to each other. What a show they are putting on for us tonight so far. Through the third to last, the lime green livery car does appear to have a line that favours their exit. 2 corners to go. Rusty and Banana Man pushing each other to the very end of race 1. It's all going to be on the exit here. Rusty just misses the apex, but I don't think it's enough, and Rusty's going to take the checkered flag with Banana Man in P2. DB Kong comes through to take P3. Denardi just a little bit behind in P4. Tux is going to come through into P5. But let's watch these 3 for 6th, 7th and 8th as they're so close as they have been all race. Da Silva's going to take P6. Across the line, Groot in P7, Vortex P8. Kiwi comes through P9. P9 confirmed. We're going to see What's this? Rusty comes through there. Rusty's made the position up in the last couple of corners into P10. Johnny Waffle in P11. The number 6 car of Randy Flange Pants in P12. Balding Wing, that's going to be P13, but these two are close to each other. Yorkshire Micker, it looks like they're up against the number 10 car being lapped. Yorkshire Micker pulls through in P14 after what looks like an arduous race for them with that damage. We have the fantastically pretty gold and blue livery of Marge, it looks like, coming through into P15 with Paxo on their tail, but I don't think they're going to make up the 4 seconds required in the final corner. And that's going to be Marge coming through in P15. Chicken Paxo after that incident into P16 with the fastest lap of the race on the final lap. That proves they had the pace today. They had a chance. They will rue that accident. Vincente bringing up into P17 brings home the field with the last of the running finishers with Waterskin, Chris V-Dub and Vantage. It looks like not starting the race there. Wow, what a first race. That picked up towards the end fantastically. And we get to do that another 2 times. Wow. You do have to wonder what would have happened if DB Kung and Chicken Paxo had not collided in the 3rd lap. Had that incident there. You need to wonder what would have happened if Chicken Paxo had not had to pit as either. That would have been a very close 4-way battle at the front. However, we get to do that again, and fair play to all the finishers for carrying on. Shows great sportsmanship, and that's what we want to see, as many cars finishing as possible here at Race Club UK, sponsored by Lovely Stickers. So let's quickly run through that there. Rusty, after 10 laps, took the checkered flag from 3/10 from Banana Man. DB Kung in P3, Danardi 4th. Fantastic drive from them. Tux in P5, De Silva, after a fantastic battle, just edging out Groot by 3/10 of a second, and the Vortex just behind them. Kiwi stopped on track there in P9. Rusty in P10 rounds off the top 10. Mr. Waffle in 11th with Randy Flange Pants. Balding Wingnut, Yorkshire Micker, after again the damage they were carrying looked very significant. Still managed to bring it home in P14 with Marge in P15, and I must say, probably,
Green light. Go, go, go.
in my opinion, the nicest livery of the day. As we start qualifying 2, who's going to be first out on the track? Danardi is at the front of the pit lane, but they're not first out. We've got car number 8, Mr. Waffle, eager to get going. Car 24, Chris V-Dub, after the first race there, will be eager to put that right. Again, having a little issue with the camera here, guys, so just give me 2 seconds while I try and resolve that there. That should be it fixed there. I do apologise for this. There's a glitch with the game. And that allows us to pick up this camera. So as we're going around here, let's see Chicken Paxo still in the pit. Again, just waiting for that right opportunity. Rusty has got themselves a car in close proximity. They won't have wanted that after their fantastic performance in race 1. Still got a couple of cars there just in the pits. As we come round We're going to have Johnny Waffle to take us off, and V-Dub just in behind them as well. So let's watch these two. We've got a car off at the outer loop, car number 2. Balding Wingnuts teleported back to the pits. Wonder what happened with that one, maybe just lost it coming through the bus stop. So let's watch Mr. Johnny Waffle take us round the track as they come down now into turn 1, the downhill braking zone. 90-degree right, you can take a lot of curb here, the banking helps you through there. Need to be careful on the exit, you don't want to lose that lap time. As they come through the S's, bit of debris on the track there, don't know what's happened there, need to be very cautious with that one. They come up the roller coaster section, onto the back straight, the revs building as they come up through the gears. Preparing themselves for the harsh braking zone, off the bus stop chicane, over the first curb, over the second curb. They need to be so careful over these as it can really unsettle the car, but the BMW riding the curbs perfectly there. Round the outer loop, again a lovely banked corner. If you can just balance your throttle through there, you can get great corner speed. Through into the boot, into the first part of the boot there. A late apex corner unbanks itself towards the exit. Short straight now, power down into a short braking zone. Early apex corner. Need to be very careful on exit as the grass on the left hand side comes up very quickly and can cause you to spin out. But not a trouble for Mr. Waffle there as he goes over the crest into the final section, off the boot into the heel. Makes the apex perfectly. A little bit to spare on the exit. They could have maybe carried a bit more speed through there into this very tight corner now. And they do keep it at the wall. That was very close. He's on the grass. Needs to be careful with that one. Guess his tyres a bit dirty for the second to last. Hopefully they keep it on track. As they come into the last corner, cut across the pit lane. Very careful not to hit the wall on the exit, nowhere near the wall, not a problem for Johnny Waffle. As the number 8 car comes up to the line and sets a provisional time of 2:02.4, that will be the target for everyone else. And V-Dub comes in behind there, 9/10 down. We're going to watch Yorkshire Micker after their first race there, just not quite going to plan. What time can they do for qualifying? 1.4 down. Banana Man, P2 in race 1. Goes provisional pole in qualifying 2. Rusty, P1 in race 1. Goes into provisional pole ahead of Banana Man. The number 9 of DB Kung, also a threat in the first race, into P3. As they're all just kind of sparring with each other. Groot goes into P5. The number 10 car of Waterskin, what can they do? Into P8 from them. Do we have two Rusties here? We do. We have Rusty GT and Rusty TJ. That's going to get confusing. So they're now just the 12 and the 15 car because that's confusing. Number 13 of the Vortex goes up into P2. What a lap! We missed a lot of that one, but it must have been a cracker. Only a 10th down on the leader from race 1. Well, we've got a little lull here. Let's just fix the camera angles again, as they seem to have defaulted. Let's try this one. See, that's the camera we don't want. How do we change that? Let's come on board Rusty as they come round the heel to complete their next lap. Let's see what kind of lap time we do. We've got the lap time on the screen there on the top left. Their own personal best of 2:01.4 to beat. Smooth steering action on the steering wheel there, you can see from Rusty GT, the number 15 car. As they get onto the apex there fantastically. Foot is down. Onto the brakes, further in the brakes there. On the throttle, trying to kick the back out to rotate the car. Keeps it out of the wall. And they're up here. Looks like they've got a great exit. And they put themselves further ahead with a 2 minutes, 1 second, .197. It's a fantastic lap here. I'm quite enjoying these onboard shots. Let's watch the other rusty TJ90, the car, number 12 car. Right up against the wall there. So you'll have to see, but they're up on their personal best. So can they improve position? Nope. Yorkshire Micker, the number 1 car. Chicken Paxo finally made their way out onto track. Comes round the final corner. Little bit of understeer as they make their way up to the finish line. What lap times are they doing? It looks like it was an invalid lap and they've not set a time. They'll be starting from further down the grid. Car 24 is going to be the next car. Chris V-Dub, after that first race, they will want to improve. They will want to find themselves in a position where they can fight up ahead for the next race in round 1 of the American Series. Chris V-Dub up into P6, and we've got the number 8 car of Johnny Waffle. Improves, but does not improve position. Yorkshire Micker comes round now to see if they can improve from P11. We've got a couple of cars there just in behind. Nobody really improving their time. Rusty GT UK is not on pole position, because that's currently held by Da Silva, who's put in a cracking lap. DB Kung comes through and takes pole. 0.02 of a second. Wow. Less than a tenth between the top 3. This is going to be a fantastic race. Chicken Paxo as well, as we've seen them doing the fastest lap of race 1, is also going to be storming through the field. A couple of the drivers there not getting the lap in. Not getting a valid lap. Wow. DB Kung takes pole position again by 0.02 of a second. Da Silva in P2, Rusty GT UK in P3, Banana Man into P4, Vortex 5th, Johnny Waffle 6th, Groot, Danardi, Chris V-Dub, Rusty, Vincenti in P11 showing their pace. Yorkshire Micker in 12th, Tux in 13th, the Baldine Wingnut in that lovely blue livery car in 14th, Waterskin in the classic BMW M livery. Looks like we've got a car potentially on the entry list, but not racing. AMR Vantage. Chicken Paxo in P17 not getting a lap in there. Same with Kiwi, Randy Flanchpants, G Marge rounding up the grid. Hello Hugo Vincenti, good evening, thank you for joining us. You're also racing. Amazing multitasking skills there. So I appear to have had a bit of an issue here, so I'm going to have to pause the stream and leave again. I don't know what's happened. It looks like we've lost feed for the race. Give me a couple of seconds, I'll see if I can fix there. We can see the track upside down. We appear to have been dropped into the shadow realm, so give me 2 seconds. My apologies for that, as we appear to have lost the feed, but now we are back with the grid order for race 2. Unfortunately, I've now lost the timings. However, we'll just run quickly again, run through the grid for those watching. We have DB Kung in P1, Da Silva in P2, Rusty in P3, all separated by less than 600ths of a second. We have Banana Man 3000 in the car 19 in P4, Vortex, Johnny Waffle, Groot, Danardi, Chris V Dub, who had a retirement in the first race, hopefully be looking to make amends, and Rusty TJ, not JT, Rusty TJ 90 rounds off the top 10. Vincenti again showing their pace into P11. Yorkshire Micker, who will be looking again to have a less challenging race than race 1 in P12. Tux in P13, Balding Wingnut in behind them. Row 8 sees Waterskin and Chicken Paxo, who had an incident in P1 and did not set a valid qualifying in Q2. Kiwi in P17, Randy Flanchpants and Marge round off the grid for the next race, which will be starting in 1 minute and 15 seconds. For this American series, at the first round here at Watkins Glen, by Race Club UK, sponsored by lovely stickers. A pause for effect was definitely intentional, and I had not forgotten the sponsor, my apologies. Lovely Stickers is the sponsor for Race Club UK. We'll call that technical difficulties as well. The water race, I think we're in touch for with this one. Now where we see that there above the starting gantry, go bowling.
30 seconds.
Let's try and avoid the bowling into turn 1. We don't want to see any Bottas bowling. Let's keep it clean through. There's never extra care all the way around the first lap, guys. The race is not won in the first corner or the first lap. You've got to be in there. To quote Ron Dennis, to finish first, first you must finish. We're watching there now as DB Kung gets the formation lap. Not underway. Da Silva's supposed to be in P1. All the cars there just trying their best to get the tyres up to temperature. It's now 11 AM. Temperature's just going to continue to rise. So that is a factor that these drivers will need to take into consideration for their setup. We're now going to have some lovely steady temperatures for all these cars, all these drivers racing here tonight. Very striking livery that one, the 24 car, the orange and blue. Bit of a queue forming there. We just need to watch the drivers now getting themselves into position. We're going to catch the leaders. We watch Da Silva. Comes on board them there as they get the tyres warmed up as they come round into the boot section of the track. See the very smooth steering wheel work there of Da Silva, getting the tyres up to temperature, weaving left and right. Here's the onboard view. That's a fantastic camera. We need to see more of this shot, I think. This is the shot we want. We want the field. We want to see as many of these cars as possible. We want to see them getting all to the end. But we also want to see some fantastic action into turn 1. All the drivers should hopefully now have gotten out all of their nerves out of their system. There will still be some butterflies in the stomach. I always think of this situation as like being a duck on the pond. Everything looks so calm on top, but underneath those little legs are turning a mile a minute. As you just feel the pressure, the anticipation of making your braking point, hitting your braking point correctly into turn 1, as De Silva's going to take their position now at the front of the field. Good luck to all the drivers in race 2. Hopefully they can catch up now to the back of this field, because we are quite far through this lap. As we come round the second to last, I think they're all going to be backed up reasonably well there. We're going to stick with this view for the first lap. As we come round the final corner now, all the tyre warming's done, the car setups have all been perfected and tweaked. Everyone taking their positions. Here we go, as we just await the green flags now, as we wait for the marshal above the starting line. And there we go, there's the green flag. The race has started. We have the number 55 of De Silva and DB Kung alongside each other. It's neck and neck as they go into turn 1. DB Kung with the inside line, pulls up the inside, and we've got a car all over the place at the back there. And it looks like DB Kung's came out into P1, De Silva into P2, Banana Man up into P3, and that's Rusty GT down into P4. As they come through the roller coaster section, the SAs onto the back straight, and they're all slowly closing the gap. There's a huge gap appeared now at the back. We'll need to catch up with what's happened there as they all get very close. Are they going to touch? And they all get through with no contact through the bus stop, but that has allowed Banana Man to run very wide over the grass. Need to be careful rejoining, hopefully no contact there, but that has allowed Rusty through. That's allowed, oh no, they're up the inside still fighting back. And I think Rusty's just got the inside now coming through into this corner. And I think we've lost Banana Man. He's turned sideways, he's going to have contact, and they hit Chris V-Dub. Oh, T-bone. That's not good for them. Chris V-Dub involved in 2 incidents. I don't think they could have done much about that one, though. They came round the corner unsighted to a car facing the wrong way. The marshal there waving the green flag. Oh, what a start that has been. De Silva now putting the pressure back on the DB Kung as they've got a fantastic exit. The number 55 car, they'll have to think about a move here. They go to the inside. DB Kung takes the middle of the road, defends fantastically. Great driving by these top 6 as they're so close to each other at outright pace as they battle each other as well. And De Silva's run wide, they can't possibly expect that move to stick. No, they've tucked back inside as they come through the final turn now. De Silva definitely has the pace, they have the slipstream, they pull out to the inside, going to try and make the move under braking. DB Kung holds off, thinking about the switchback. They've went too deep, that's too deep, and they hit the wall. Oh no, that's a big accident. They were going so well, and while trying to defend P1, they're now all the way back there into P5 as they now have Johnny Waffle to compete with. As they come through the essays now, that's going to be Johnny Waffle now thinking about making the move. De Silva has got damage, they're not going to be able to defend that one. They try, and Mr. Waffle puts a lot of faith into De Silva there. Some fantastic driving up front. So let's see what's going on here. We now have Rusty GT closing the door and DB Kung and the Vortex just in behind them. Dan Hardy showing great pace as well into P4. Tux with the fastest lap so far. Just in behind Chris V-Dub, who's also suffering from that heavy incident, that T-bone that we've seen earlier on. And then we have Groot there as well. I think it must have been number 6 involved in the accident at the start. Mr. Randy Flanchpants involved in a big accident into turn 1. I think just missed the braking point. And a lot of cars carrying damage there, especially Chris V-Dub. I do feel for them. They have not had great luck, it must be said. Let's catch back up with those leaders. As DB Kung holds off Rusty, holds off the Vortex and Denardi. The front 4 all very closely separated in pace and in space. And the Vortex gets a great run round the outside of the final turn. The Rusty, I think, just closes the door there. Stops the run down the inside in the racing line. If anything I'm going to think about it into turn 1, no, they all line are stunned. Denardi very close to making a dive. Takes the fastest lap. Takes the widest exit. Will have possibly the fastest exit as they come through the S's. Yellow flags waving up ahead there. Don't see any yellow flag sectors on track. Green flag still waving. Maybe there was a previous accident we've missed. Don't see any move happening down here. Let's have a look further back, because these lot here look like they're in a close battle. That looks like Vincenti and Groot all over each other. Groot almost pushing Vincenti down the back straight there, bumper to bumper. Into the bus stop. Vincenti takes a lot off curb. That could, and they keep it under control, however, making all the apexes. That's great defending there. Takes the inside line. We're going to have to follow these guys at the front because they are again all within 2 or 3 tenths off each other. The pack appears to have split into 2. They've got the leaders up top with DB Kung, Rusty, the Vortex, all liner stun, all very possible of making a move on each other. The number 13 car gets a fantastic exit. Are they going to dive down the inside into this corner? It is an opportunity. Yeah, I can't speak, sorry. It is an opportunity. Oh my, I'm getting out of breath just looking at this action here, and these 3 are now... Wow, I'm speechless. We're being treated to some fantastic racing, all courtesy of lovely stickers in this American race series. Round 1, this is only race 2. We do get to do all this again. Chris V-Dub somehow keeping that car on the track. Handchick and Paxo with a bit of damage on the front there. They've had a fantastic start, moving themselves up into P8. Tucks in behind, but Banana Man looking at that move down the inside. It's very close and they almost touch, but Banana Man keeping themselves out of the challenge there. And looks like we've got a move here. What's happened? Rusty and the Vortex. The Vortex getting through into P2. The number 13 car, the green and blue car there. And Denardi looks up the inside, just pulls out of it the last second, but these 2 are running bumper to bumper. Denardi potentially looking round the outside there. And the Vortex has run wide. That's going to allow DB Kung a little bit of breathing room at the front. They'll be glad to see that. This is some closely fought racing in this single make BMW race. They come on board Denardi now as they put the pressure on Rusty. Only 0.3 behind. Perfectly hooks up the apex round the heel as they exit through the boot section into this very tight corner. It just keeps on getting tighter. You need to be so patient on that throttle. It looks like the Vortex up ahead may have just touched the wall there. Come around second to last. The Vortex under a lot of pressure. Denardi understeering wide. It keeps the car on the track. Makes the apex and they've hit the wall. The Vortex off the wall. And Denardi may have the best view in the house here as they watch Rusty GT taking the racing line, the Vortex defensive. Bernardi thinks about it, pulls out at the last second. Oh, what racing we've been treated to here. I need to come out of this view. So, lap 4, DB Kung in P1, Vortex in the number 13 car in P2. Retains that after that pressure from Rusty GT, just in behind, and Denardi in P4. Johnny Waffle, a couple of seconds back there in P5, having a fantastic race. Da Silva recovering from contact into P6. Chris V Dub, who they had contact with, 5 seconds back, under pressure from Chicken Paxo. Both these cars carrying a bit of damage. Don't want to miss any overtakes for the lead. Chicken Paxo with a great exit there. They could see a move here as they come up to the heel. Short burst of straight, and they're going to come into the braking zone. Paxo on the marbles on the inside. Thinks better off it. It's going to look for the better exit, and I think they might have it. Potential move down the inside, throws the dummy, and again just knows better just not to throw that dive bomb down the inside. Tux in P9 with Banana Man into P10 chasing them. Kiwi in P11, Rusty in P12, Yorkshire Micker 8 seconds back in P13, Waterskin 14th, Vincenti 12 seconds back there in 15th with the Baldwin Wing that closing in on them, and Groot back in P17. They may have had an incident, may have had to pit. Let's come back up with there with P2. This looks like the battle to have on track. These two are so closely separated. Rusty GT with the exit from the roller coaster section into the braking zone with the Vortex on the inside line, but they need to be careful they don't run too far wide. Denardi looks like they may be struggling with tyres a little bit, sliding sideways through the bus stop. For Chicken Paxo in the pit again. What's happened? Oh no! Chicken Paxo and Landy Flange Pants into the pits. What's happened there? We'll need to catch up with them to see what has happened. These three drivers, the Vortex, Rusty and Denardi, treating us to a masterclass of driving, battling in close proximity with each other. DB Kung not able to scamper away. There's, if these guys can, break free of fighting each other and put the pressure, work together to put the pressure on DB Kung, that may knock them off P1. However, you try telling a racing driver to work with the car in front and the car behind, you know what their answer is going to be. So let's watch Tux here. I think they may have been overtaken by Banana Man. Or rather, no, Tux putting the pressure on Banana Man. Only half a second behind. The number 19 car. Banana Man doing well there. Rusty TJ in that lovely copper livery there. Yorkshire Micker again, looks like they got damage to the rear this time. That looks like they may have been hit as opposed to hit someone. As they cross the line there. Vortex still holding off P2, still holding off Rusty for that second position, but they get a little bit out of shape and that's what caused them to run wide. That might open the door for Rusty GT into the outer loop. It looks like the number 13 car has recovered to a good exit there as they come round into the boot. Short burst of straight here. Denardi just losing sight of these two now. Another second behind, and DB Kung out in front. I will be honest, they've not put a foot wrong. They got involved in an incident that wasn't their fault in the first race. This race, just edging out the gap now. 2.5 seconds there in front. I just begin to wonder if maybe these hot temperatures, track temperature 35 degrees, is maybe causing some of these tyres to blister. Maybe some graining going on, because there's a lot of cars understeering. There's one there, Banana Man running a little bit wide on their pursuit of P7 Chris V-Dub. These two are the two to watch in this race here. The number 13 and the number 15 car. Basically shoving each other along the track, doing their best to finish in front of the other one. Come round turn one. Looks like this is probably the closest battle on track, as car number 95, Chicken Paxo, now comes out of the pits. They're quite far down. Fair play for them to rejoin, because they are quite far down. Not last, Randy Flashpant I think has thrown in the towel for the race 2 as well. 2 laps down on Groot. Rusty now out of shape as they come round the bus stop, as is Denardi. Looks like the back end of these BMWs just beginning to lose a bit of grip through the bus stop. It is one of the fastest sections on the track, and we've got V-Dub sideways round there as Banana Man's made their way through. V-Dub all over the back trying to get back in front, and that's allowing Tux to catch up very slowly but reel them in as well. I think that's the move being done. That one's now going to settle down. As we see there, DB Kung. P1. 4 minutes to go in complete control. Let's see how they're driving, because it is... Well, we've got a yellow car, we're going to have to double check to see what's going on there. Yellow flag. There's a car backwards there. Looks like potentially the water skin maybe had some damage, it looks like. This lot here are all looking particularly close. Vortex now have a bit of a gap there. Denardi, looks like they've had an incident. That's Denardi's ran wide. Denardi we've seen going off there. They were running in P4. They're now quite a bit back there. In P7 now. That's allowed Da Silva up into P4. That's the pole sitter with a bit of damage they're carrying. Back into P4. Johnny Waffle also benefiting from that one. Banana Man made the move in Chris V-Dub and made it stick. Tuck's now the next person to attack Chris V-Dub after this heavy damage, and Denardi will be looking to make amends. Vincenti very close to the water skin. But it's these two again for P2 to round for the final podium positions, giving each other an absolute nightmare. 13 and the 15 BMW all over the back of each other. All this, like a bit of cat and mouse, isn't it? One tries to get the better entrance, one tries to get the better exit, and it does this look to be evening itself out. They both seem very closely matched. We've seen that in qualifying. The top couple separated by only a couple of tenths, and they've ran wide. The Vortex has ran it wide as they came round the heel, the final section of the boot, and number 15 is all over the back. Rusty GT is all over the back now of the Vortex. This is going very close. Round the second to last, it looks as if maybe the Vortex's tyres is beginning to go off as they've went a little bit out of shape. Round the final turn, using all the track. However, they seem to have recovered. Rusty not quite using that. The leader taking the final lap. Now 2.6 in front. I think first position has been decided, unless pending any big mistakes from DB Kung, the Swedish driver, out there in P1, more than 2.5 seconds ahead. These two pushing each other for the final podium positions. What a race. Coming to the bus stop, pulling up the slipstream, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Rusty tries to put the Vortex off, but they're not going to be fooled by that one. Move a little further back through the bus stop, let's see any other moves happening. Nobody else seems to be as close on track. Maybe these two, Denardi and Chris V-Dub, could be a move here. Denardi has a fantastic run on Chris V-Dub up into the bus stop. Oh, they're going to throw it down the inside. Denardi thinks better off it again. Oh no, Chris V-Dub's put it wide. They'll need to be careful rejoining as they lose the rear. Denardi does well to stay out of the way. Chris V-Dub retains the position sideways somehow round the outer loop. Denardi putting pressure on all the way to the end. We need to watch these two again as the Vortex runs wide. Keeps the speed though, they're running wide and it looks clumsy, but the speed is still up there. They're keeping the corner speed up. It's great driving. Chris V-Dub now, and there's been an accident. There's been an accident. Denardi and V-Dub had an accident. It looks like V-Dub has came off so much worse. Oh dear, Chris V-Dub will be absolutely distraught with that one. But this one has been all about DB Kung, led from the first corner to take the checker flag. The number 9 car, Chris V-Dub. The Vortex holds on for P2, Rusty into P3, two tenths apart. The Silver recovers after that early contact into P4. Banana Man worked their way back through the field. P5, Johnny Waffle, P6, great race from them. Just tucks into P7. Denardi, don't know what happened, we just missed it. Looked like they lost control there, and they've done it again to P9 because Kiwi and Rusty TJ has taken 8th and 9th. Denardi in P10, Chris V-Dub P11, Yorkshire Micker. Looks like they're going to come on to P12. Yep, Vincente is next across the line. We still have some cars racing. Balding Wingnut and Waterskin and Groot still to come across the line. Yorkshire Micker takes the P12. Vincente round the last corner. Very close to the wall for the last turn, but they've got round. Trying to get a personal best, that must be on low fuel. Takes P13. Balding Wingnut again just round that last turn. They're carrying a fair amount of damage as well. I hope it's not too bad. The Waterskin, the car number 10 car in P15, and Groot in P16. Oh, contact! Some celebratory contact there into the turn 1. That's what we love to see, but only after the checkers flag. Well, what a race that was. These two. Rusty. What, honestly, Vortex and Rusty, what a race they've just put on for us. Within half a second for 10 laps straight, that is honestly some of the best racing I have seen on Assetto Corsa. That was fantastic. What a race 2 has been. In fact, I'm going to see if I can quickly just clip these highlights for later on. Hopefully it saves some cars on track because we can see that glitching there. Hopefully that's not something that continues. Wow. So that's great stuff from them. That's what we love to see. Great driving from the Vortex and Rusty. Honestly, within half a second for 10 laps. We had a bit of an accident, I believe, between Chris V-Dub and Banana Man. Early on, it looked like Banana Man got a little bit out of control. V-Dub came around the corner, unsighted and T-boned. Not a nice crash to watch, to be honest, but none of them could have done anything about it. Denardi lost control there, I think around about lap 8 or lap 9. Fell back from P4, but they were putting the top 3 under severe pressure as well. What?
Green light, show them what you got.
What a first couple of laps. That's been incredible. First couple of races even, sorry, that's been fantastic driving. I really wish I was taking part now, to be honest. It looked really good as we start qualifying 3. So just to confirm, what's going to happen in this session, DB Kung, The Vortex, Rusty, Da Silva, Banana Man and Johnny Waffle should not set a qualifying time. They will start from the back of the grid and they'll have to charge their way through if they want to have any chance of finishing in a similar position this time around. And that should allow as well drivers such as Tux, Kiwi, who has been some of the fastest drivers so far outside that. Chicken Paxo's got a great chance of pole here, as does Chris V-Dub, Denardi as well, so they may take pole position for qualifying 3. So first out this time has been number 24 Chris V-Dub, who will be desperate, I mean desperate, to do what they can to get themselves into a position where they might be able to have a clean race. We've now moved on in the day. We are now a little bit warmer. We're now 28 degrees ambient with 37 track, and the drivers will need to take that into consideration for their race setups. And it looks like we have been joined by Rusty GT, who has had a fantastic race in race 2 there. Rusty, what was that like? What was that constant attack and defend, cat and mouse, from yourself like?
Well, it was enjoyable. It makes a change, to be honest. Normally I'm sort of facing the other way, so it's a bit of a nice change, but yeah, all good. And just like to say thank you very much for doing the commentary, doing a mega job, mate.
You're absolutely welcome, and watching you guys drive has made it an absolute pleasure tonight. The next question I have for you actually is, now this qualifying session, obviously not taking part.
Yeah.
Where do you see the best the best overtaking opportunities as you fight your way back to the field?
I think turn 1. You know, if you can sort of brake early enough just to sort of turn in and get the power on early, sort of give you a good run up the straight, and then probably third to last corner, I think, just as you come up the hill, and that sort of slow left down.
Third to last at the end of the sort of boot section, the tightening corner with the late apex.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's I think also as well that quick chicane is it's a good one as well, because if you can throw somebody a dummy, they can just carry a bit too much speed in, and then you can set yourself up nicely for the right-hander who's coming out of it. But yeah, it's
brilliant, fantastic. Thank you for that.
See what happens.
Yeah, it's been a good one. Hopefully you'll be able to fight your way through the field, but you're going to have a lot of fast drivers alongside you.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys are able to work together and get yourself through the field and not cost each other too much time.
Yeah, and it'll be in the dark as well, so
we're going night time.
Right,
fantastic.
So, man, I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, thank you for joining us. Good luck.
Cheers. Thank you.
Sorry, I missed who else joined us in that chat there. Who else is in this room just now?
Evening, Gordon. It's Banana Man 3000.
Banana Man. So we watched in race 2 there. We had, I think we seen a bit of an accident between yourself and Chris V-Dub.
Yeah. I think it might have been Rusty. I was just a bit out wide, kind of lost it on the sort of marbly bits, just lost the back end, and yeah, unfortunately came back across the track and Chris had nowhere to go but into the side of us, bless him.
Yeah, I watched it happen and I just cringed as I seen you go round. I thought, oh no, there's so many cars coming round that corner. I was hoping that they'd all find their way through, but it looked like there was quite a nasty accident. And after that, you must have been carrying a fair whack of damage, but still managed to fight your way back.
Yeah, it's it's always worth carrying on. But yeah, it was about 20 seconds, I think, of damage.
That's a fair whack.
Yeah,
And
it's,
what do
BMW's
you...
made of paper, I think.
Yeah, totally. What do you see as... I mean, you've got this situation now where you're starting at the back. You've got a lot of fast drivers around you. Do you fight them for position, or do you follow them as they make their way through the field? Do you use their line and their moves to slow the cars up in front down because they have to take defensive or evade an action and follow them through? What was your sort of game plan going into this one?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you, Gordon. I'm going to sort of see how it plays out. Not sure. We haven't done this before with the sort of reverse grid start, so it should be should be some a good bit of fun. I think I think if you try and rush perhaps too quickly, then that can cost you over the course of the race. So 20 minutes doesn't seem like a long time, but there's plenty of opportunities for mistakes to happen ahead of you. So I think we just try and keep our noses clean and see what opportunities present themselves and be there ready to take them when they are.
Okay, last quick question: who do you think's getting pole in race 3?
Oh well, I mean Donardi's looking quick at the moment. Just looking at the timing boards,
Donardi,
him
De Silva.
and De Silva, yeah. But then having said that, Chicken Paxo set the fastest lap in race one, which he nabbed from me. So I think any one of those three guys. De Silva's just put 0.3 on.
De Silva's just put in an absolute blinder.
Yeah, that's a quick time. Yeah, so there's only this will be the last lap, isn't it? So yeah,
this is them coming in now. Yeah, perfect. Thanks for joining us. We'll let you get back and make sure you got the set up for the final race. You're welcome.
Sounding great. Cheers.
Take care. Good luck. That's been our man there, giving us their insight into the race. So as we just see now, we've got the cars coming around. Donardi takes pole position in 2 minutes 0.5. That's an absolute flyer. We've got car number 4 now, just coming across the line. What can they do? Don't quite make it. Donardi, De Silva, Chicken Paxo still just finished their final lap there. Car number 6, Randy Flangepan, still to come round. Set themselves a valid lap here. Can they improve? They do improve, and they're up to P11. Car number 1, we've still got the Yorkshire Micker going round. Tux, who is a potential candidate for pole position, but with lap times like that, it'd be hard to knock them off. Rusty TJ also done some fantastic driving. Donardi still out there. I think they're still able to set another lap. They've not taken the checkered flag yet. Everyone else has. So we've got 3 cars left. Yorkshire Micker's going to be first across the line. 1, 2, 3. 4 cars left, my apologies. Yorkshire Micker now rounding the final corner, cuts across the pit lane, makes the apex beautifully, all the way out to the curb, uses the whole track. Up into P7. Donardi's abandoned the final lap. Chicken Paxo's taking the flag. Turks is next to cross the line. And Rusty TJ as well. And Turks, what can they get? What can they do? They improve into P6. And that's the end of qualifying. So in P1 we have Donardi, who has shown fantastic pace all through this session here tonight. De Silva in P2, half a second down. Didn't expect to see that. Donardi's put in an absolute fly off a lap to take pole position there. Rusty TJ in P3, Chicken Paxo in P4, having 2 races with 2 pit stops. They'll be hoping to have a clean race, hopefully starting further up will help them with that. Chris V Dub in P5, Groot in P6, they've been quick as well in the race, they've shown great race pace. Tux in P7 and the Yorkshire Micker with their best qualifying of the evening in P8. Kiwi in P9, Vincenti in P10 rounding off the 5th row. Mr. Pants in 11th, Balding, Wingnut, Waterskin. And then we have the cars who were unable to set a lap time for race 3. And that will be the order. They make their way into the first corner. Well, potentially into the first corner. That's the way they'll be making themselves around the formation lap. So we've had a couple of the drivers in. We've heard their thoughts. My thoughts on this final race. They've got all these cars at the back here. I don't see an advantage in these guys fighting each other. I do think they should, work together to get themselves through the grid. They have the pace. They've shown they had the pace. They've all got the race pace. Let's not put people into the wall. Let's not go bumper to bumper. Let's get through the first 2 or 3 laps because they'll have another couple of sections to go. We're night time. The sun has fallen. Sun has fallen and we are now under the moonlight in New York State. Track temperature has plummeted to 22 degrees, which means all of the setup work that they've been doing is now out the window. They'll need to quickly use the next 3 minutes to adjust everything, which will put a lot of pressure on them. That will increase their nerves more because they won't know what the cars are going to do. We spoke to Banana Man, who is looking forward to the challenge to fighting their way through the field. DB Kung, who is P1 in race 2, just in behind them. Rusty and Vortex, all doing some fantastic racing. This is going to be a cracker. If you've watched us so far, do not go, because this is going to be the highlight of the evening. We're going to have the fastest cars, the fastest finishers of the last race, all fighting their way through the grid. We're going to have Donardi, who has been fantastic and quite frankly had the pace to finish in the top 3 in both races, but due to some errors have not quite managed to get the car across the line. Da Silva as well, also done really well. This is going to be a blinder. We are being treated to a fantastic first round of this American race series by Race Club UK, sponsored by Lovely Stickers. If you are interested in racing in this series, the group is available on Facebook. Give them a little search. Race Club UK, sponsored by Lovely Stickers. Give them a look, join the group and get involved in the action. I'm going to take a quick drink break because my voice is going a bit dry, as you can probably tell. That's just the level of excitement that we've seen so far this evening. We've got a minute left to go. The drivers will be feeling the last bit of nerves, as any drivers who have not had the best races so far will be looking to make amends, and the drivers who have had the best races, well, they'll be fighting their way through the field. Now, the beauty of this track is every corner does seem to have multiple lines you can take in and out. There is that fantastic braking zone of turn 1, which you can take a late apex and get a great drive up the hill through the roller coaster S's section onto the back straight, getting a fantastic toe all the way down there into the bus stop
30
chicane.
seconds.
Drivers, if you are listening, please remember to press drive. We don't want any pit lane starts. As the drivers just begin to start up.
20 seconds.
And the drivers now at the front and get us away. Chris V Dub there, hoping to make up for what's happened at the start. Donardi, Da Silva, Rusty, Chicken Paxo, all looking for a bit of fantastic driving, a bit of luck tonight, and they may come away with a race win because they all have the pace to do so. Any one of this top 6 probably has the pace, I think, to go all the way and take race 3 checkered flag. But they'll have to be very wary of the cars charging their way through the field. 9 PM, track temperature 22. It's a lot colder. Hopefully all the drivers have been able to adjust their setups accordingly to get the best out of the cars, because we don't want to see cars having low tyre pressures, getting punctures on these really high curbs, especially through the high speed bus stop chicane. Johnny Waffle down there in P14, but again we have seen they've had the pace. Yorkshire Mecca are the best qualifying of the evening. They'll be in with a chance, they'll be looking to move forward. Chicken Paxo is a two races, 2 pit stops. They will want to find their way through. They will want to prove that they have the pace to lead in this series. The lights have went off, hopefully they can get them back on. Same with the car in behind there. DB Kung, our race winner in P2, in race 2, looking to fight their way back through the field. Balding Wing, that we've not seen much of them tonight. Hopefully see a bit more in this race. Vincente has shown fantastic pace in qualifying, 2 similar livery cars there as well. Banana Man, who we spoke to there just in the break, looking for some fantastic overtaking opportunities. Vortex, who we also spoke to, showing some fantastic racing, really making my job on comms as easy as possible by giving me something to talk about. Groot there as they come round now, as they're getting towards the start. We need to make sure we catch these leaders. As we have Donardi and Da Silva, Rusty P3 there, all just coming through. And now Donardi holds them all up, warms the tyres, warms the brakes, some braking and accelerating. Yellow flag still out. I don't know if maybe somebody's stuck in the pit lane potentially. SV Dab on board. They'll need to get the lights on. Come on, Chris, turn your lights on, boy. So as we round now the second to last corner. Just after 9 o'clock here in New York. The Silva will need to watch their starting position. They do not want to get a drive through for being out of position at the start. Donardi in the orange. The Silva in the darker coloured car, the 55. And in behind her, in P3, the number 12 car of Rusty and Chicken Paxo in P4. As we now come down the start straight, we're just awaiting the green light to get us racing. Donardi is now in position. They're on the marbles, but they have the inside line. Can they keep position into turn 1? And we are green, and they're off, and it looks like the Silva's got the jump, as does Chicken Paxo in P4. As they both go side by side, Donardi seems to have made a good gear change, and up the inside, they're side by side, and they're so close to touching. but the Silver stays into P2, but Chicken Paxo has made their way into P3. Rusty down there into P4, now has Groot on their tail. It would look like we've got number 1 car, Yorkshire Mickers had an accident at turn 1. Denardi does appear to have the advantage into the bus stop, the Silver into P2, Chris. Chicken Paxo thinks about it into the bus stop but pulls out as we wait for the order just to rejig itself there as they come through the bus stop, through the first sector. Chris V-Dub in P5, Rusty in P6, Groot, Tux, Kiwi, Balding, Wingnut, Vincenti, Randy Flange punches in the wall at the bus stop. Oh no! They've not had the best of evenings tonight. Hopefully they can get their car back out there. Banana Man, Waterskin all getting through there at the start. DB Kung, the Vortex had the best start of all those back markers. Up into P13, Johnny Waffle, sorry, P12. As they come round the heel now, they have Denardi, the Silva, Chicken Paxo. There's a lot of close battles going on now. It looks like Vincenti's moving backwards down the field. The Vortex now all over the back of Johnny Waffle. Doesn't look like they're going to make the move down the inside. DB Kung just playing it safe behind Vincenti. It looks like they're going to have a good run out of there. Rusty TJ under pressure now from Groot as they come round the second to last. Rusty runs a little bit wide there. Both cars make the apex, but Groot has got the pace and they get right up to the wall, but no contact. They're going to get a toe down the straight. Can they jump down the inside? Nope, there are no dive bombs happening there. Plays it safe. Johnny Waffle with the fastest lap of the race, but the Vortex has got past, and that's Johnny Waffle being overtaken by Vincenti down the inside. Johnny Waffle on the switchback, on the old switcheroo, takes that one back. DB Kung now in behind, looking to find a way through past Vincenti as well. Looks like Vincenti may have been the cork in the bottle there. And I think the Vortex has now got past Balding Wingnut as well. The Vortex on their way down the field, but it looks like Groot potentially, there's a Kiwi's had a bit of an issue potentially. We're all good, so we've still got Denardi up at the front there. The Silver half a second behind, keeping them honest. Chicken Paxo is another second behind in the final podium spot. Chris V-Dub P4. Rusty TJ in P5, Groot in P6. Tux just in behind them, Kiwi a little bit further behind. The Vortex now in front of Balding Wingnut, who has now got Mr. Johnny Waffle as company in behind them. Vincenti is in P12. Is it DB Kung in front of them yet? Not yet. Number 9 is in front of the P4, yes, DB Kung has made it through. Banana Man just in behind. I don't see any damage. It don't particularly look to be going very fast. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with the car there. Yorkshire Micker, it looked like, had a bit of an accident. Rusty GT down into P16. Waterskin, again, that car has been involved in an accident. Hopefully they're able to get back to the pits to continue. We've got a yellow flag there, the car, number 5 car of Kiwi. It looks like they're in the wall. And they're going to lose another couple of the positions. The Yorkshire Micker goes through, as does Rusty. As we rejoin the leaders at the end of lap 2, the Silver with the fastest lap. Both cars running wide there, they'll need to be careful. They don't get a track limits violation. They don't want to pick up a few of those and end up with a penalty. And that's some close fighting going on here. Balding Wingnut, Vincenti side by side as they come through the roller coaster. They'll need to be careful through here that nobody understeers into the wall, as it will cause absolute chaos for those behind them. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like they've got some other moves up here. Groot and Chris V-Dub fighting closely. And we've got a car sideways. The Vortex loses control, and that's allowed Banana Man through into P12. Fantastic driving, fantastic action. Unfortunate for the Vortex, down to P12. Banana Man moves up a position. We do have Groot and Chris V-Dub very close proximity fighting here. It looks like Groot has a fantastic run out of the heel. We've got a yellow flag back at the Vortex. The Vortex is off the track. Oh dear. That looks like a big one. They've lost control, I think. Coming into a downhill corner, and they've pulled over to retire. That car is done. You can see the bodywork hanging out of the front of the car there. That's sad to see. They did so well in the last race. Hopefully they can get that car back out there again to finish off what has been a fantastic performance from them as we rejoin this battle for P5. Groot putting the pressure on Chris V-Dub in the 24 orange and blue BMW. Closing in there, making sure there's no mistakes. Da Silva is very close now on the back of Denardi. This is for the lead. This is for the lead on lap 3 of round 1 of the American Series from Race Club UK, sponsored by Lovely Stickers. And what a lovely battle they are putting on for us. Is the debris in the way that might have caused Denardi to lose a bit of straight line speed? Is Da Silva thinking about it? Denardi not defending fresh air. A wise head there. It looks like we've got somebody in the wall. Oh no, that's a high speed crash. It looks like Chris V-Dub has been involved in an accident. Again, that's not fortunate for them. Yellow flag section on the back straight. Let's hope everyone can get through safely. That's really sad to see because they were doing fantastic. I'm disappointed for them. I'm meant to be impartial, I'm meant to be neutral, but that's not nice to see. 2 races, 2 big incidents. That would have been a high speed one. Let's hope the force feedback on the wheels not hurt their hands. As we rejoin this battle for the lead. Denardi and Da Silva side by side. Da Silva a little bit high on the curb there, compromising their exit speed. As these two just push each other round the track. It looks like Denardi's ran a little bit wide there. Da Silva with a great exit, Denardi using all of the track. Da Silva is going to get a tow as they use the slipstream. Oh, they're going to go down the inside, they're thinking about it, tries to brake a little bit later, but Denardi is able to brake even later on. They've ran a bit wide, the number 20 there. The number 20 cars ran wide. Da Silva is going to see that as an opportunity as they use the toe up the left hand, around that banked right onto the back straight. It looks like they've maybe backed off a little bit there or lost a little bit of speed through that section, because Denardi will not need to think about defending into the bus stop this time round. DB Kung now up into P8. I think we've maybe lost someone there. We've only got 17 runners now. So let's quickly recap the field then while we've got a little bit of breathing space. Denardi retains P1, Da Silva giving them a lot of pressure in P2. As they, I don't want to take my eyes off this. It looks like Da Silva has the advantage in this section of the track. Cannot believe that this is what we're being treated on, a battle for the lead. These two only half a second apart. Denardi takes a wide line into there that might give them the better exit, but they've not hit the apex. That's put Da Silva right onto the bumper. They just need to follow through the next 2 corners, hook up all the apexes, which they have done. We're halfway into the race and Denardi's lost the rear, and that's allowed Da Silva up the inside. Can Denardi fight back down the straight? They're going to pull into the toe. Da Silva moves right to take the defensive line. There's marbles there. Denardi thinks about a move up the inside, and they're going to go bumper to bumper. Denardi round the inside, no contact made. De Silva holds on round the outside, and that has been for the lead. De Silva moves up into P1. Denardi, it's not over though now as they come through the roller coaster section. Denardi in that orange car has used the toe, and they will be reeling it now in inch by inch, millimetre by millimetre. And there's no move made through the bus stop chicane, but Denardi's took a fantastic line bouncing over the curbs. And De Silva's left the inside open, and Denardi pulls alongside. What a fantastic battle. This has lasted the whole lap, and they're side by side as they go into the heel. Denardi round the outside. Can they make that move stick? And they've ran a bit wide, and that's allowed De Silva with the better exit through the boot section. It tightens now, and Denardi has hit that apex. They have the run. Denardi up the coast of the bumper, and they almost touch. That's so close, and they're battling for position. Cat and mouse going on, but I think that might now be Denardi into P2, but they've got deep on the brakes. But are they going to get the better exit? De Silva seems to have that second to last corner under control, and that's allowed Chicken Paxel now back into this battle. I think, yes, Chicken Paxel now right on the back of Denardi as well. Denardi does have the fastest lap, so maybe they'll still have the pace to fight back into P1. But what a battle that was. Denardi again thinks about down the inside. Runs a little bit wide there onto the curb. Is that going to allow Chicken Paxel? Does appear to have an issue with their lights. A bit of debris there again on the left hand side. That's potentially from Chris V Dub's incident, who has got back on the track. That's great to see. Fair play to them for making it work. It looks like Denardi's not giving this one up, because they're now all over the back of De Silva, using that toe to stay in touch down the back straight as they come round the outer loop, down the hill into the braking section. And they're right on the bumper, and they almost touch. Denardi showing some fantastic pace in that 20 BMW. It's not over yet. They are showing tremendous character by not giving this one up. Then they're round the outside, but can they make the tuck back inside on the switchback? A little bit squeamish on throttle, and that's just allowed De Silva a little bit of breathing room, but they're still pushing each other down this section as they come into the heel. Denardi thinks about a move up the inside. De Silva gives space, but what these two might not realise is that's now allowed Chicken Paxel into the mix in P3. Johnny Waffle in P7 has taken the fastest lap. We'll come to that battle in a second. But De Silva, Denardi and Chicken Paxel all now fighting each other for the lead, as we still have 6 minutes off this left. I don't know how I'm going to manage this, because my throat has now gone completely dry. Denardi may have to start thinking about what they're going to do about Chicken Paxel behind, but they're so good on the brakes into turn 1, but they've ran wide. Is that going to allow Chicken Paxel an opportunity into the bus stop chicane? Because they have got the toe as they come up through the up and down the roller coaster, right and left they go. Right on the bumper now, pushing Denardi along. They can almost taste the exhaust fumes as they come down the inside. Are they going to send a dive bomb here? Are they going to put down the inside? But Denardi again knows not to defend fresh air. But they've went too fast into that chicane, just as we were being told in the break by some of the drivers. Chicken Paxel now all over the rear bumper of Denardi as they come now into this fantastic downhill sweeping section. I think Denardi has held it off, at least for another lap. We've got car number 8 in the wall, Johnny Waffle, and they've done a rejoin and they've hit DB Kung coming. Who have they hit? Who did they hit there? Rusty. Johnny Waffle and Rusty hitting each other. Johnny Waffle rejoins and crashes into Rusty. Oh dear. You don't like to see that, but that has put DB Kung through as the furthest up starter, now into P7. The furthest forward off the non-qualifiers. You don't like to see accidents like that. You think if you're rejoining, you should just allow the cars past, let them go, because that has now ruined Johnny Waffle and Rusty's race. Both of them now in a position where, you know, they could have worked together, but the contact has stopped that from happening, stopped them from fighting their way through the field. So we've got De Silva in P1, Denardi looks to have lost a little bit of touch, ran wide again. Chicken Paxo a couple of seconds further back in P3. We have Groot, who's done a fantastic racing all night, but they've ran a little bit wide there, and they've now potentially allowed Rusty TJ to make some ground up on them. We'll follow this one just now to see if anything is coming off that little mistake, because I can see with the naked eye Rusty is now closing that gap. They're too far back to make a move into the bus stop. That's definitely brought Rusty back into contention. Caught them up a second there. Groot lost with that mistake. We have Tux in P6, DB Kung in P7, the furthest forward off the back starting vehicles who did not qualify. Banana Man follows them in behind a couple of seconds there in P8. Yorkshire Micker with a fantastic performance so far in the number 1 car in P9, but they've now been closed on by Vincenti, who's carried just a little bit too much speed through that chicane, but they've kept it going and doesn't look to have compromised them too badly round the outer loop. Kiwi down in P11, 8 seconds behind them. Balding Wingnut, Johnny Waffle and Rusty GT have all made it back to the pit stops with Chris V-Dub, who I think may have taken the choice to throw in the towel for this evening. Waterskin still continues on in P16, great credit to them. Please keep going, because the 3 cars in front are in the pits. You could give yourself some kind of a battle to carry on with. As we now come into the final minutes of round 1 at Watkins Glen, the third race.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap.
Race
Give it all
Club
you
UK has put on a fantastic show here today, and it couldn't be done without Lovely Stickers, who are the fantastic sponsors. If you do want to get involved in this action next time, please give a little look on the Facebook page. You can join through there, get involved in the action, because in what action we have had tonight. De Silva leads Denardi after a thrilling 2-lap battle, side by side, pushing each other to the limits. Denardi in P2 now, 3 seconds down. Chicken Paxo another 3 seconds behind. I think these 3 drivers... Oh, Denardi's lost it! Denardi's oversteered into that corner in the outer loop. Is there going to be contact? No! That's allowed Chicken Paxo through. And we've got a stop-go penalty for car number 8. That's Johnny Waffle as it goes from bad to worse. That's a drive-through penalty for speeding as car number 2 comes through to lap. Oh, Mr. Johnny Waffle, that's so unfortunate. I do feel it. It's not been their fault tonight. Groot now in P4, 6 seconds behind, but they do have Rusty. This is now the closest battle on track. Rusty TJ all over the back of Groot. Rusty's got a fantastic exit there as they come to the heel off the boot section of this track. Are they going to defend the inside? No, Rusty's going to think about it, but pulls out. Thinks better off it. There's another couple of corners left. They're going to keep fighting all the way to the very end. Groot's shown fantastic pace as well. There are no losers here tonight because everyone has done fantastic. De Silva rounds the final corner. Fantastic fighting from them as they take a well-deserved
Leader has finished
first
the race.
place in race 3. Congratulations, De Silva. Chicken Paxo mops up Donardi's mistake round the outer loop there to take P2. Donardi, unfortunate, had the pace today in P3. They can still go away proud because that's a podium. Groot just holds on to Rusty. DB Kung finishes P6. Great recovery drive from them. Tux in P7 and Banana Man. No, Banana Man P7, Tux P8. Yorkshire Micker looks like they're going to... Oh, what's going on here? Car 24 is lapped. They're going to come around, but Yorkshire Micker is in P9. Vincenti takes P10. Kiwi in the number 5 car is going to come round into P11. Balding Wingnut to finish in P12 in the number 2 BMW. THG Waterskin in the number 10 car is going to be the last of the runners to bring us round, so let's just keep an eye on them as they come round here. Oh, that's not. There we go. As they come on board, we see the fireworks for the leaders. Checker flag has been shown. Just want to say a fantastic effort from Waterskin for keeping this going, because it's so easy just to decide to throw in the towel, but they've continued on. Great stuff to see, and I'm so glad to see them take the checkered flag as well. So let's run through the top 10 of your results this evening. In first place we have De Silva. Let's get us out of this view, there we go. In P1 we have De Silva. P2, Chicken Paxo. Donardi in P3. Group P4, Rusty, DB Kung, Banana Man, who is on a victory crash. Tux in P8, Yorkshire Micker in P9. Vincenti in the number 4 car finishes P10. Kiwi P11. Balding Wingnut in P12. 13th is Waterskin. Chris V-Dub finishes in 14th. Rusty, again, you've got to put it out there, you feel sorry for them with given the incident they had in the last race there. Johnny Waffle with a 60-second penalty will finish in P16, but does take the fastest lap of the race. The Vortex doesn't appear to be in the lobby anymore, as does Randy Flanchpants, or Vantage, or Marge. So that rounds off the last of the finishers. What a fantastic race we have had here tonight. 3 races, 3 fantastic races at Watkins Glen, which never fails to produce some fantastic driving, but some of the battles we've had from Vortex and Rusty GT in race 2, and between De Silva and Donardi in race 3, some of the most thrilling battles I've ever seen in a Assetto Corsa Competizione. Watkins Glen never fails to disappoint. This race has been put on by Race Club UK, and we are sponsored by Lovely Stickers. Again, if you are interested in getting involved in this action, feel free to search out their Facebook page. Hopefully we'll be able to see you in the grid going forward. That has been a fantastic
Green light. Give it
job,
again.
and I want to congratulate all the drivers for going through tonight. You've all done fantastically well. Some great driving. Kind of jealous I'm not taking part. And for any of you guys who I can see on the comments there saying, you know, great commentary, I want to thank you guys for making it so easy for me, for giving me lots to talk about. Hopefully until next time, my name's Gordo. We'll see you then.